How's it going, gamers? Chongo here, and today I've got a gameplay commentary for you guys. The gameplay is of Gears of War Judgment on the Xbox 360, and today's commentary topic is how Xbox One could have entered this console war and actually had dominated, as opposed to what's happening now where it seems like PlayStation 4 will beat the Xbox One. So let's get into it. Now, first off, they need to take the one good idea they had with the Xbox One, and that was the family sharing plan. It's really good, but they could have done it a lot better than what they had done, because it seemed very restrictive the way you weren't able to, lend a game to a friend or do it right without, giving it to them and then you can never get it back. It didn't work out very well, and it seemed very restrictive of a system. So I was thinking one system that they could have implemented is have used games as well as the family sharing plan, but do it in a way that doesn't basically allow people to have two copies of the same game. So it doesn't let me trade in a game as well as still having it on my Xbox. So one way they could do this is they could go and do all digital games only for the family sharing plan. They can still do that at this moment, and I think that would work fine. It means you could buy this game online, you are unable to sell it or anything, but you can put it in a family sharing plan and go and share it with your friends or your family or whatever. But one thing that would be awesome is if they took it a step further and they allowed people who bought physical copies to do the family sharing plan, but they were able to trade and sell their games if they didn't want to do the family sharing plan. Now, I thought about this for a while and how they could implement this in a way that would work properly. One way I think they could do is if I buy a physical copy, just say it's, Gears of War 16 or something. So I've got this game, I go to put it in my Xbox One, and I'm able to give it to my family sharing plan thing, but on doing that, it'll scan something on my disc and basically make the disc not working anymore, but I then have it on my family sharing plan and everyone there can play it. So it means no one will be able to use that disc again, I can't resell it or anything like that, and I've used it on my family sharing plan. And that would also mean that people who didn't want to use the feature at all, or just wanted to keep their game actual physically, they could do that. They don't have to worry about this family sharing plan or have to be restricted on not being able to give a game to their friend if they want to. And with their DRM whole thing with the family sharing plan, that was the supposed reason for always being online, every 24 hours check-in or whatever the hell it was. So they could still do that for people with the family sharing plan, but they could just make it when you go to check a game on the family sharing plan or whatever, and just make it, if you're using that system, you need an internet connection. That wouldn't be such a big issue because people could still use the Xbox without the 24-hour check-in, which they have already taken away, and I think that would have worked a lot better because you'd need an internet connection anyway to get someone else's game off the internet, so it wouldn't have been a big issue. This would suit both parties. I mean, there's a group of people who say they just want to, give games to their friends and do what they've been doing as well as trading, selling, all that kind of stuff, which is fine and fair in my opinion. But also there's a group of people saying, oh, I don't sell or trade in my games, so therefore I should get the family sharing plan. And it's kind of like, we've got two massive groups here, whereas if they did a system like this, people who only wanted to use the family sharing plan could. They don't have to worry about selling the games, they can just chuck it straight into that family sharing plan as soon as they get the game. Other people who want to use specific ones or only use digital games can also do that. So I think if Microsoft had done this, it would be a step further than their current idea, and it would have been a lot more of an unrestricted console. And I also think that they'd probably be ahead of PlayStation 4 in pre-orders and possibly be already winning this generation, because PlayStation 4, it does look good, but its main policy is it didn't do what the Xbox One was originally going to do. So if the Xbox One had a better policy to begin with, PlayStation 4 wouldn't have the sales there. Also, with the no online DRM thing only required for the family sharing plan, they could have done this and allowed people who are, overseas or have bad internet or in the military to use the Xbox One and play games, but that doesn't really matter now because they've already removed that. Anyway, these are just some of my thoughts on what Microsoft could have done that would have made their Xbox One more appealing and less restrictive, and would have worked better for them in the long run, and they probably would have won the next generation of consoles. So anyway, this brings me out of my commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, and if you've got any comments about this or the Xbox One, put it down below, and if you want to join the Gamerhood, just subscribe. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.